So, Graham, start out with your evaluation of JT. How do you think he played?
I thought JT played really well. Was proud of the way he competed, and thought he gave us a chance to win. And so ultimately, that's the quarterback's job, is try to find a way to win your game. And I thought he played. I thought he did a lot of good things. Gave us a chance to win. We came, made a few too many mistakes as a team to come out on top. But was proud of the way he played, and probably most importantly, one of the things that probably I'm most proud of is just, I thought he played extremely tough, and the way I like to try to define the word tough would be like overcoming adversity with great attitude and great effort. And I think that he did a great job of that. He took some shots and kept playing. So physically played tough. I'm sure he was aching. I'm sure he didn't feel great. That's adversity. He overcame it and kept playing at a really high level and continued to stand in there even after taking a couple shots and never blinked, never, shied away from a hit. So it's probably from that standpoint. And then also if you look at it from just, there was, as a team, I thought we did a lot of great things, but him in particular, like when adversity struck, no one ever blinked, you know what I mean? And I think time and time again, adversity did hit, and had, probably had a chance to not respond the right way, and the team just kept responding the right way, and even right down there to the very end where, we have a bad turnover where they go score and take the lead. That's pretty big adversity, right there, and they come out there and still put together a drive, and even in that last drive overcame two false start penalties, got sacked twice, kept playing, and came up a couple inches short on the pass maybe, but like I said, when adversity hit, he never blinked, and I thought as a team we did a pretty good job of that as well.
It obviously has a very good defensive front, pressures the quarterback well, but it's imperative that you guys stop the pressure on JT going forward, slow that down some.
If you protect the quarterback, that helps in anything. But so yeah, obviously we want to protect him, but also I think at the quarterback position, any quarterback or any good quarterback can tell you like hits are part of the game, and you don't ever want a guy to get injured or anything like that. But it's a violent game, and you're going to take some hits, and I think that the really good ones can take hits and continue to stay in there and continue to play, and that's what I thought. Like I said, I thought maybe what I was most proud about with JT is when he did get hit, he never started looking at the rush or throwing bad balls because there was pressure coming. He just continued to stand in there and play the way he was playing before he took a shot, and so that was really encouraging to see.
Dana used to call it baller. He's got a little bit of baller in him, doesn't he?
Yeah,
a little competitiveness about him.
Yeah, and that was, like I said, that was good to see because you watch him practice all day, and obviously he's a good player. But when the lights come on every now and then, sometimes people are different, and so to see him go out there and perform at the level he did, and like I said, just not blink when bad things happen, not blink when good things happen. That's kind of what you're looking for at that position, and I said he did a good job of it last Saturday or Thursday, whatever day it was, and we're going to have to continue. We need him to continue to do that for us to get to where we want to be.
I'm sure you ran the last play to Reese a number of times since it happened. Tell me why that play was so, and what made it really a tough play, that the throw wasn't exactly there at that time.
It's a tough. They play 2-man and it's 4th and 17. There's not you don't get a lot of guys real open on that play, but or in that situation, I thought we did a good job. The ball was maybe 6 inches short. If it's 6 inches higher, maybe we make the catch. Or I haven't seen the TV copy, so I'm not here to say it's the catch or not. But gave him a chance, and we were right there. And like I said, I don't know. We gave him a chance and just came up a tad short. And I don't think there was necessarily a bad throw. Obviously, you maybe went a little higher. I don't think it was a bad route. I think there were a lot of opportunities. In that, like I said, that's not an ideal situation to be in 4th and whatever it was, and with no timeouts and very little time on the you'd like to be in a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 or something, but in 4th and 17, you got to give it a shot. You got to get everyone past the sticks. We did, and I thought, like I said, JT, that they played 2-man on us, and he recognized it and gave us a chance, and we were a few inches short.
He made a lot of throws with guys in his face. I mean, Was that encouraging? Obviously you want to clean that up and get guys out of his face, but he made a lot of throws. Even that last one, he took a pretty good shot on that.
Yeah, I think it's very encouraging. That's kind of what I was talking about. Like, he never. A lot of guys, I think quarterbacks naturally, like when you get hit a few times, you get a little gun shine there, and he never did. And whether it be people hitting him on that current play or not, I think a lot of guys, if they, especially if they take some big shots, and like one of his big shots was on a screen. We threw a screen, linebacker came through and hit him pretty good, which that's just that kid kind of diagnosed it quickly and made a heck of a play there. But but any quarterback, when you take some big shots like that, a lot of times they start seeing things that aren't there as far as pressure goes and stuff, or when the pocket starts to collapse, they can't find a way to make the throw. And he did a great job of that. Like I said, with people around him, he never once shied away from a throw. He took some shots and never, like I said, started getting his eyes down and seeing the blitz or feeling things that weren't actually there. And like I said, that's encouraging, and hopefully if he continues to do that, I think he could have a really special year.
Run game overperform your expectations going in? I mean, do you think you could get to 190? That was a big number.
Yeah, that was a big number, and if you take some of those sacks away, it's even higher, I think. But yeah, to rush the ball like that on that defense was really probably a little bit unexpected, just because that they pride themselves on stopping the run. They're going to have a lot of guys around the box. I don't know if they gave up that many yards rushing to a team at all. All last year, maybe they did, but probably not very many times. And so to run the ball that well was encouraging. We since I've been here, I said that offensive line is going to have to be a huge part of what we do, and they've played a lot of games together. They're really experienced. I think that they've had a great off season, and if you're going to be good at football, you got to be good up front, and they give us a chance. And so obviously having an experienced offensive line and a talented group up there helps you in the run game, and then running backs running through some tackles, running through some arm tackles. To get explosive runs, you're going to have that. And we had quite a few explosive runs. And some of that, like I said, we blocked it up pretty well, hit a gap, and then run through an arm tackle, and now you're in the open field with an explosive run. So, like I said, that was encouraging. Probably, I think that if you just said we're going to rush for however many yards, when a team loads the box as heavy as they do, you'd be like, that's going to be a stretch. But it was, like I said, it was a fun game, fun to watch those guys perform at a high level, and just made a couple too many mistakes to find a way to win.
Graham, Neal said that you guys did a good job getting Donaldson into certain situations. I'm curious, what you had in mind for him for that first game, and then how it maybe changed when he's successful during the game, and then even beyond that, how do you be careful and not to give him too much and ruin what he does have going?
CJ did a great job. The plan was to get him some touches. We thought we could get him probably 5 to 10 touches, and that's probably about what we got him. I don't know. But we wanted to just put the ball in his hand because we knew he was a tough guy to tackle, and so that was kind of the thought was, all camp he's been tough to tackle, and so the thought was let's see if that shows up on game day. And his first carry, he splits it, and so pretty quickly you realize, he's probably tough for everyone to tackle. So that was good. He did a heck of a job. Like I said, you don't want to put too much on him, but I think the biggest thing, we knew with the ball in his hand, he had a chance to be special, and that showed up very quickly. And it seemed like every time he touched it, he did something special with the ball. The biggest question is, for a young guy against a defense like that brings pressure as often as they do, what's the protection side of things look like? Because that's also a large part of what the running back's job is to protect the quarterback. And he did a really good job in that. So that was, we knew he was special with the ball, and obviously probably didn't expect him to have the game he had running the football, but we weren't near as concerned about, what's he going to do when we hand him the football, as we worry about if he's in there and we call a pass play. Is he going to see the pressure? Is he going to know what to do? Is he going to be able to step up and hit it? And, if you watch his pass protection, one time Seven came through, who was a really, really good football player and didn't slow down for many people, and CJ dropped his head on him and stunned him, and slowed him down, completely stopped him, which was great to see. And then on one blitz, they brought a pressure and they brought the safety, and CJ blocked the blitz and linebacker and the safety. And so, like I said, that's to be a true freshman, be your first college game, and run the ball the way he did. That's what everyone saw, and I was like, wow, that's really impressive. But to protect the way he did may have been more impressive, just from a standpoint of that's not an easy team to protect against, and that's not an easy job for many running backs, and he did a phenomenal job of that. So that was very encouraging. I think, like you said, you got to be smart with CJ and make sure he can handle whatever you're asking him to do. And so, we'll try to do a good job of that. But he's a kid that has a special skill set, and that obviously will help us out throughout the year.
Was he absolutely staying in the game to run short yardage after the punt block, or do you think I'm maybe letting him catch a breath on the sideline?
No. Yeah, he wanted to get him another touch, and on that one he carried him for 4 yards, and the O-line did a heck of a job. We were outnumbered in the box. We knew we'd be outnumbered in the box, and we put one on the running back, and he got squared up, but just kept his knees running, and then the O-line kind of started pushing him, and Frazier basically tackled him in the end zone, and that was, I think that we did a lot of things that are encouraging from that game. Like I kind of talked about earlier, overcoming adversity, handling adversity the right way, playing tough. The other thing I thought, we had a lot of guys playing really selflessly and playing it really, really hard. That play, if you watch that play back, there's a lot of O-linemen trying to push the pile. There's CJ running his legs. The whole group gets excited. If you can play like that for an entire season, you can win a lot of football games, and there's stuff like that we got to build on. But yeah, he blocks the punt and then carries like half the team for 5 yards the next play. That was fun to watch. But no, in short yard situations, we wanted to get him some touches, and that was kind of the thought there. Was even after he blocked the punch, we didn't think he'd be too tired, and we're in a goal line situation, so get him a touch.
Did his performance earn the right to get him a more expanded role?
I think the key is just as with any young guys, make sure kind of what we're talking about. We feel comfortable that he can handle whatever we throw at him, and if he does, then that'll be his role. And like I said, CJ's an awesome kid, and the thing that I think you miss that you don't see is, and Coach Brown's probably touched on it in here if you ask him about it, but for like 2 weeks straight, every single day after practice, he stayed out there and did a little punt block drill. And there's a handful of guys that have been doing that every day after practice, but he was one of those guys, and then it shows up. I don't think it's just a coincidence that he went out there and had a really good game, and obviously he's I don't know what he weighs, 230, 240, a big, great athlete. Obviously he has some natural abilities to help your cause. There's not a lot of people that are as big and as strong as he is that are still as fluid as he is. So athletically, he's a talented kid, and so that obviously helped the cause. But also the way he's practiced is, I think that's why he was able to have the success as early as he did. Because like I said, every day for at least 2 or 3 weeks, he's been out there, and I'll jack around on the field and after practice hanging out, and he's one of the guys that every single day he's out there trying to block a punt. Then it shows up, and if you watch our 2 scrimmages, when we handed him the ball, it's really tough to tackle, did a lot of good things with the ball in his hand, ran through some arm tackles, attacked it just the way you saw on last Thursday. And so I don't think it's a coincidence that he just showed up and played as well as he did, because I think it comes down to he's practiced the right way for 4 straight weeks or 5 weeks, however long fall camp's gone on, and then he got his opportunity, and it showed up on the field. And so, like I said, I think we have to continue to be smart with him. I think he's a guy that obviously you need to get touches to, but at the same time, you don't want to overwhelm him or overload him too. And so we just have to, like I said, see what he can handle and let him go.
What did you like from what you saw from the receivers, and what could have been better?
I think that they made a lot of plays, and then I think that obviously the last play, or not the last, but the interception play, I think a lot of people are probably gonna remember. That's all they remember. But if you look at what Bryce did, I think Bryce did a lot of really good things and made some tough contested catches. The 2 touchdowns he caught, to have the ability to get in the red zone and trust a guy to go try to win one-on-one, that helps it. That helps the cause quite a bit, because when you get down there in the red zone, everything gets a little bit tighter. A lot of times you can get one-on-one matchups, and to see him go win one-on-one matchups, like if they can do that consistently, well, that helps the cause in the red zone, because it's either going to make the run box lighter and allow you to run the football down there, or put teams in a bind because they're going to have to cover people one-on-one, and a guy that's proven he'll win down there one-on-one. So, I thought he did a lot of good things, and so that was good to see. I thought they played extremely hard. I think there were too many drops, and I think in week one sometimes like drops happen, and things that like the procedure penalties, way too many procedure penalties, and that's not at the receiver position, but just talking about things we have to clean up. Like you can't have that many procedure penalties, but I know it was a good atmosphere. I know it's probably loud, and there's some stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we preach discipline. That's straight discipline. You know what I mean? And things we do in practice, I think like pat and go. Some of the drops that we had were basically pat and go drops. And that's something we do every single day. And so I think that's going to be the key for us to just continue to when we go out there on the practice field, understand like what you do out here shows up on game day. And so the reason we do pat and go is so that we throw and catch the ball better than anyone else. That's kind of the thought behind it. And we're going to do it more often than anyone else. That's going to be a habit for us, and we're going to get really, really good at it. And so, so I think that we got to go out there and hopefully today when we go do pat and go, like there's a little bit more of a, they understand like we're doing that with a purpose. We're being very intentional about it because like it's going to show up on game day, or the other thing that we got to do a better job of is ball security, and we put one on the ground, and that's something that we do every single day is a ball security circuit, and Coach Brown always says the ball is the program, and he calls that the program period as far as like ball security circuits, and I think that sometimes when you do something every single day like that, sometimes you almost like you're like, why are we still doing this? Or you just don't lock in as much, but those things show up and win and lose football games, and so that's kind of the message is like when we practice, it's game reps. When you're doing a ball security circuit, we're trying not to kill their legs. We try to get creative with drills that put them in game-like situations that force them to have great ball security, and that's going to show up in games, and that's the difference in winning and losing football games at times. And so that's going to be big for us. And like I said, hopefully we can learn some mistakes and then improve them, clean some things up, and if we do, and continue to stay hungry and play like we did. Like I said, I thought we played as an offense. We talk about being selfless, tough, and disciplined. I thought we were really selfless, strained for teammates, played really hard even when we were tired. Thought we were tough. We overcome adversity time and time again. We weren't disciplined enough. You know what I mean? Ball security, that's being disciplined. You know what I mean? Procedure penalties, that's straight discipline. And so we weren't disciplined enough to win the other night. And if we can be, that's got to be the message. If we continue to prepare the way we do and play the way we played, I think that we could do some special things. And the good news is I think that being tough and being selfless, those things are harder to coach than the discipline side of things, And so the encouraging thing is hopefully we can coach the discipline side of things as far as the ball security and stuff like that. And if we do, and build on what we did well, then you got a chance to do some special things.
One more here on Bryce. I think the number was 16 targets. Was that by design going into the game, or was that something you saw during the game to take advantage of?
I think, if last week I came in here and probably told you the same thing, we got to win one-on-one battles. And a lot of times that one-on-one battle is going to be out there on the perimeter because of the defense they played. And so we knew going in we're going to have to give them opportunities, and hopefully they win them. And that's what I think that, we went in there with the plan and stuck to it. And that was kind of the plan, and it's not like we had a certain number, like, hey, we need to get Bryce 16 targets or something. It was just, hey, when we get one-on-one opportunities, we got to go after them because they're going to make it hard to, they're going to put a lot of people around the box and try to make it hard to run the football. And so when that's the case, we got to take, there's going to be one-on-one opportunities elsewhere, and we got to go after them. And that's what we tried to do. And like I said, we went in there with the plan. We stuck to it. I thought, like I said, we did a lot of things well, just made a couple too many mistakes to win.
What have you noticed in Donaldson's personality that would allow him to walk into that pressure back situation and perform as a freshman in his first college game?
I think, like I said, I think he prepared the right way, which gave him the real opportunity to do it. But he's a pretty cool kid, He's pretty not real emotional, or when he's walking around the building at least. He's pretty calm, pretty relaxed, and the moment obviously wasn't too big for him. And I don't know, like I said, some people just have the it factor, can have that personality where no moment's going to be too big for them, and they just go out there and be themselves. And CJ did a great job with that the other night. I think I don't know if there's any like particular trait or anything. I think that he works hard, and like I said, he's a pretty calm guy, and not a lot of things get him real high or low emotionally. So a big moment, a big crowd, a big stage, just CJ was CJ, and that's a sign of a really good player.
Calm guys make coaches calm, right?
Yeah, maybe calm coaches make players calm. I don't know. No,
Okay.
we're probably more emotional than they are. But I think if you've talked to CJ he's pretty really really level, and I think that JT's the same way. Like JT, you don't know if he's having a great day or a bad day, and same day with the game. You don't know if he's had a great game or a bad game, and great practice, bad practice. He looks like he's just over there hanging out. You know what I mean? And so, you don't know if he's the water boy or the dang quarterback half the time. Because his personality is just right here. And so, but those are two guys that when you get on a big stage, they're very calm, they're very cool, they're very collected, and then the big stage, nothing changed. They were just the same guy. That when you got guys that play that way, it makes coaching a lot easier and it makes coaching a lot more fun. And like I said, those two guys I think played at a high level. And noise, heckling, the atmosphere, the stage, the situation, nothing changed that for them. But I think a lot of that is the personality.
We got Garrett in for a snap. Is that part of a pit plan or something you maybe want to try to do more often with him or any other backup?
I think Garrett's just a good athlete, that a guy that we like to get the football in his hands. And the cool thing about Garrett is he has a big arm too. And so if we see opportunities, and it's kind of like what I've talked about before. I think that as a staff, when we talk about game planning and stuff, what we try to do is get our playmakers in space with the football. And he's a guy that we think can make plays, and he can make plays throwing the football or with his legs. And so get him a snap here or there. If we feel like we have an opportunity to get him in space and let him go work out with his legs, then we wouldn't be afraid to do that. But at the same time, same thing with throwing. Like if we ever get in a situation where we think that we could do something with him throwing the football and give us an opportunity to get somebody in space or get somebody in a one-on-one matchup, we wouldn't be afraid to do that either. And so, like I said, that's just kind of when you go throughout the week, and if you see like, maybe we got an opportunity here with anybody, try to go do it.
Ask one, Kansas defense. The game got out of hand pretty quick. It was 21-0 in the first quarter. But what do you see from the Kansas defense that you got to prepare for this week?
Like you said, watching last week's game was hard just because it got ugly quickly. You know what I mean? And so it's hard to get much. When games get out of hand, sometimes it's hard to know like exactly what you're getting. And so that's different. But they're a team that if you look on the perimeter, their corners and their back end, they're long, athletic guys. Number one, the safety number one, I think he might have been an all-conference player last year, but he's a heck of a football player, and a team that plays really hard, and that's what I've tried to encourage our guys with is like, hey, this group plays hard, but playing hard has to be our calling card too. I think if you look at the game the other night, we had a lot of examples of guys playing really, really hard, and so hopefully when other people turn on our tape, they're saying the same thing. Like, this is a group that plays really hard, and if they're not, then we need to change that. And so. Like us, and I think this always with what we do offensively, it's going to come down to like we got to go out there and do what we do, and execute at a high level, do things right, clean up what we need to clean up, and if we play the right way, we're always going to give ourselves a chance to be successful. It doesn't mean you're going to win every game, but if you prepare the right way and you go out there and play the right way, you give yourself a chance, and that's what you're trying to do every week.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.